I have this image in their head that females, women can only have kids, right? Pop up the babies, right? But then we cannot speak how we feel about being mothers and being parenthood. We can't speak on that unless it's a script that they told us to talk about. Unless it's, oh, we love being moms. We love doing the hard work. We love doing everything. Unless it's that. But if somebody comes out on the internet, on social media, and express how they really truly feel, that they're stressed, that they don't like it, or whatever it is, they get hated on. And it's crazy because females, it's okay. Men love to hate on those videos, hate it, right? As we know. But then the women are like divided. Why I said divided? Because there are women out there. It's a small percentage of women. I don't know how much. Y'all can figure that out. That will get so mad at another female expressing how she feels about motherhood, about how she feels it, right? And then there's another percentage of women who say, I agree, but you have to keep it quiet. And then it's a small percentage of women who be like, yes, girl, talk about it, speak it, tell how you feel about being mothers and motherhood and being a parent, a single mom, or whatever it is, right? There are women who, it's crazy that as females, we cannot really speak how we really feel because it's a taboo subject. We cannot say that we hate it. We hate being mothers. We cannot say that having kids is a burden to us. But what I don't understand, we could have opinions, we could have feelings about it, but they think just because we dislike being parents and mothers, because we had to do everything that evolves around everything with kids, like taking care of them and not having time for yourself, right? Just because we hate being mothers, they think that we hate our kids, which is crazy, right? I don't know why society wants us to hush with this topic, because this topic is a very real topic that a lot of more females should talk about it. Because the problem is, why so much women are so much depressed, is that part of it, it's just part of it. Part of it is because they cannot speak on how they really feel about it. They cannot speak how they truly feel about being mothers, right? This is why once older women, like 50, 60, 7 years old, they come out and say, yeah, don't have kids. I see so many videos of older women say, yeah, don't have kids, don't marry. Why do they say that? It's because they couldn't say it when they were 20, 30, or 40s, right? But maybe not 50 too. It depends. It depends on the female, on the older woman. But it's mostly 60, 70, 80 women who saying don't have kids. And it's because they're not, at that age, they're not afraid of speaking the truth or how they feel, right? But once you're like 20 and 50, that's when it's like it's a taboo subject to talk about it, because you're young and you're supposed to want kids. You're supposed to talk about it. You're supposed to say it's a wonderful thing. You're supposed to make other females, other young women have kids, because the reality is that they don't get mad when older women say it when they're 60, 70, 80 years old, saying don't have kids. If I had to go back, I would never have kids. There's so many videos about older women saying that. Why they don't care that those women say it is because they're already old and they already did the process, and they already made the next generation have kids, right? So once, if a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, or 40-year-old would say that on video, on social media, she get hated on because she hasn't passed her time yet. Her kids are not grown adults, right? Also, she had to encourage the younger generation to have kids because it's a cycle. But once the 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, and 40-year-olds become old, 60, 70, 80 years old, now they could open up and say it because then they already, it's a circle basically. That's why I see it. So the more we're in the age, right? We're in 2025. We're in the age of a lot of social media. We're in the age that a lot of people are opening up about their feelings about every topic you could think of, right? So this it's more females are coming out and saying being a motherhood is not as glamorous as people seem, and I don't like it because it's stressful. I don't like it because I don't have time for myself. I hate being, and all this stuff. And there's a lot of people who gets mad because they're young and they haven't been old yet to say that, and they are mad that these young people, 20, 30, 40 years old, are speaking up about their feelings, and they am scared that the next generation is going to listen to them, and more or less people are going to have kids because of the message of today's time. But they forget that females are human beings with feelings and emotions and everything else. That they forget that just because we're mothers, we could just hate being mothers, but we also could just love our kids and still oh my God, I know I'm talking too much. They don't understand that we could say that being a mother they hate it, right? And doesn't mean that they hate being their kids. It just means they just hate the whole mother process, because being a mother, you had to take care of another human being, right? And let's be honest, humans are generally kind of selfish. We are kind of selfish. We want a community / also we want to be selfish at the same time. That I feel that's the reality of a human being. We want a community, but we also want to be selfish. That's how I see it. So when a mother is like, I hate being a mother, because first of all, they had to take care of another human being. They had to not have too much freedom, especially when they're little, right? But once they become a teenager, you have a little bit more freedom, right? Well, when they're under 13, right, you have to take care of them more. You have to be with them 24/7. You don't have time for yourself, right? Don't have no time for yourself. You had to cook, clean, all this damn thing that, let's be honest, as humans, we don't want to do none of this. Unless you have OCD, right? And you want everything clean, right? But let's be honest here. It's not that many people who likes to clean. Let's be honest. And then we have to clean for another human being. Like, for real. Let's be honest here. Nobody likes to clean. But we do it because we have to do it. Well, there are a small percentage of people who don't clean and have a dirty house. Which, I don't like being dirty. I'm messy. To me, messy is just clothes around. We could just pick it up and the house is clean. That's my messy. It's just clothes. And I'm not organized. That's it. But, okay, anyway. And then we have to, worry about the school stuff, right? School. Taking them to school. Or buy them food. It's so much to be a mother's, being a parent, that a lot of females had to do everything from themselves. 99% of the females had to do everything for themselves, right? Maybe I'm exaggerating with the number, but who cares? Anyway, you get the point. So all the pressure is always on the female. It's always on the female. All the pressure, right? It's on the female. And then we cannot even talk about how we feel, how we truly feel, because then we become, oh, you're a bad mom. You hate your kids because you have feelings. Doesn't make sense, first of all, because we are humans, females, women, we are humans. We are human beings with feelings and opinions and emotions, okay? We're gonna hate it. We're gonna hate being mothers. All I had to say is that I wish more females, more women, more mothers speak up how they truly feel. And we need more people to open up and tell them how they really feel. Because I feel like it'll be better off I feel like a lot of people just keep everything to themselves. And that's how a lot of moms become so resentful from the kids, right? And they're so scared to speak up, because if they speak up, if they tell their family member, a cousin, a sister, or best friend, a co-worker that they got really, really close, right? A therapist or somebody, right? Anybody, how they really truly feel about mothers, even though they love their kids, people are gonna look at them really wrong. Let's just be honest. It's a very taboo subject to talk about how you really feel about being a mother. And society wants you to be, hey, I love being a mother. Come on, all of us have kids. Let's all have 10 kids, each of us. That's what society wants. Society really wants all the females in the world to just have babies and babies and babies after babies after babies. But yet, they don't want us, give us nothing, right? Especially in the United States, right? They want us to pop up kids like we're machines, right? But yet, where is the daycare? But yet, all the daycares are super expensive, super duper expensive. Not a lot of people could do that. But yet, the food, to buy food is super expensive. Everything expensive. Like the minimum wage is like, come on. It's not even. I know a lot of people could do it. I have did it, but just because I did it doesn't mean somebody could do it. I have empathy for people, and I think a lot of people don't understand the empathy for other people, and don't understand that it's hard. They don't understand. I did it just because I have one kid, and I got and I'm not a shopaholic. But even that, even though I'm not a shopaholic, it is hard. It is because you had to buy all this stuff for your kid. You had to balance yourself. If you don't balance yourself, you're gonna lose yourself, right? And they become super depressed. That's why a lot of females are depressed, because they have so much in their plate. But like they want us to pop out kids, like we're a candy machine, right? But then they don't give us nothing. They want to cut everything out. It's like, how can we take care of these kids if you don't give us nothing, right? It is insane. Like, I think it's insane. And then I understand that community will help, but also not everybody wants to have community. I don't know. I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm done. I just feel like the United States is not a country for you to have pop-out kids. It's not. It's a country that cares about corporations only, right? And I understand that, because the United States is just a business. It's not a country for the people. It's not. Literally not. They will do the minimum for anybody, any section of human beings in this country. They will do the minimum of the people, the minimum that they could get away with. And each time they're gonna make them the minimum wage even less, right? And don't get me wrong, United States, we got freedom. We got a lot of freedom, right? Anyway. What else I'm gonna say? United States would do the minimum for each race. No matter if you're white, no matter you're black, no matter you're Hispanic, no matter you're Asian, no matter what color you are. If you're not on the 1%, they don't care about you. And they will find ways, each and every time to cut everything away from you, right? And if you're not in the 1%, they don't give two shits about you. Don't matter what bracket you are, no matter what race you are, no matter who you are. If you're not in the 1%, they don't care about you. And that's damn true. If you really think that the United States is not a country. In United States, well, it is a country, but really, it's just a business. It's a business country for corporations, and they will do anything and everything for that 1%. And if you really think that they really care about you, then you are screwed in your head and have watched way too much mainstream media, and don't have no empathy for, and you have no empathy for people. And that's another thing. A lot of people don't have empathy for other people because a lot of people have trouble to understanding other people. A lot of people cannot put themselves in other people's shoes. They can't understand that. They can't understand other people's perspective, because if they don't have a perspective, people think, is that a lot of people think that if they don't think like I do, then you're wrong. And that's a bad way to think about stuff. That's a really, really bad way to think about stuff, because you're not learning perspective, because life is not like everybody does not go in a line. Everybody doesn't follow the same stuff, because we all different, right? We're all different, with different perspective, with different opinions, with different lifestyle, with different everything, right? So how can we all live the same way if we all different, right? So a lot of people have trouble putting themselves in other people's shoes and understand where they're coming from, understanding why they feel the way they feel. So when somebody comes, right, and somebody comes in social media and speak their opinions about motherhood, or about politics, or about traveling, or about food prices and corporations and every other topic in the damn world, right? People have a hard time putting themselves in other people's shoes to understand their perspective, because they think there's only one way is their way. And I think that's another reason why we have a hard time agreeing with a lot of us. This is why a lot of people in the United States are very divided, because a lot of people just don't understand other perspective in life at all. And I feel like you have to understand others' perspective, okay? And life is not one life is not one size fits all. It's not. That whole thing is bungers. It's not real. Life is not one size fits all. Is not. We all different sizes, with different shapes, we're different. It's everything. Like we're not gonna fit in the same box that you want us to. You believe it should be, right? I know I'm rambling. It probably don't make no sense, but that's okay. That's how I talk. And let's see what else I wanted to say. It's like a religious person, right? A very, very religious person, right? They don't understand. A very religious person don't understand an atheist person, right? They think the religious person, the atheist, is wrong because they don't understand their perspective, right? And a lot of atheists are very open-minded, though. So I guess, I don't know. That's my perspective, anyway. Anyway, I have enough. Have a good day. Enjoy your day.